did something different this time. I scheduled it to go live at 6:30.
What? What's that?
Oh man, I hope you're going to be able to hear me. So I did something a little bit different. I scheduled it to go live at 6:30.
Oh, so it's live now?
Well, it sent there was a notification that it plans to go live at 6:30, but I already started the live, so I don't know if it is actually live or if it's actually going to start to broadcast at 6:30. So I clicked on the switcher and turned the live on. So the live feed is going right now, but I don't think it's broadcasting yet.
Okay, so I shouldn't pick my nose because it may be live.
That would probably be a good idea. Well, you might be able to pick your nose because I've got the grab a drink graphic on top of your face. Yeah, it shows 54 seconds and then we're going to be going live. I'm going to leave the grab a drink on there for a little bit and then I'm going to run that intro video and then I'll let you know when that's all done.
Okay.
So it's 37 seconds.
And you're doing the intro video first?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to let the we're live grab a drink graphic go for a little bit. Where'd my coffee go? I lost my coffee again. And
Last time it was your iced tea.
I know. Now it's my coffee. Oh, my coffee's right next to me. For all I know, we might be live right now. Okay, plans to go live. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we've been live for 11 seconds. So we'll see. What are you doing in there? Oh, Linda Sue Brown's with us. Good evening, Linda.
Wow, she got in pretty fast.
Yeah, we've got 6 watching, bud.
Are we live?
Yeah, I haven't run the intro yet. I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, you're going.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Got my 420 beer again. I tell you what, it says in this that there's no weed in it, but I tell you what, man, if you smell it, it smells just like weed. So I don't know. Anyway, it's 420 wheat ale, so that Dave gave me. And this is my last one. I've been nursing the beers. I have not drank near as many beers over the winter, especially during the cold time. You want hot chocolate with maybe vodka in it or something like that, you know.
Hey, can you hear me, bud?
Mm-hmm.
We've got Vicki Horton with us and Angie Rosengren.
Oh, hi, Angie.
Boston.
Vicki. What we're going to do tonight is I have some different pots that I'm going to show you. This one's like one of our 2.5 inch, 2.25 inch pots. And what I'm going to show you sowing seeds. And there's all different kinds and sizes of seeds that I'm going to show you tonight. In these 2.25 inch pots, Lisa's going to show you here, like where I'm going to be sowing them. I'm going to put like sunflowers and tithonia, which is a Mexican sunflower. Now, none of these are going to be online, but we're probably going to plant up a few monarch containers or butterfly containers, and Tithonia, which is a Mexican sunflower and has an orange flower on it, is the best. It was in the top 10 sunflowers for attracting monarchs. So, and what I've got on my tag here, I'll just show it here. I've always put the name and the date down so I know germination. And usually sometimes what I'll do too is I'll go to the computer and write down sowed sunflowers. So when my brain is incapacitated, which has been pretty much regularly, I can at least go back and see. It's just like the hanging baskets, you know. Excuse me. I put it on the computer when we plant them. Quinn's going to be planting those on Monday, so I'll write down, you know, how many he plants on Monday and that. So we have a record. We can go back year to year and figure out like when should we get the plugs, when should we do stuff like that, because it's really good. I probably have never been a very good record keeper. I tried to use my mind, and I tell you what, in the last few years, the memory when you get older is not quite as good as what it used to be, so I have to really write things down. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this marker. Now, Stuart made me a really cool dibble. It's probably the nicest thing Stuart's ever done for me. And I had it for like 1.2 seconds, and Lisa took it to use it for something completely different than what it was made to do. So anyway, I'm just going to do a little hole in here in these. And normally when I sow the seeds, I'll use some other soil. I'll show you a different way, but this is the Tithonia. Now I have this really cool little thing right here. It's my seeder, and it's got really, if you can see, it's got different size hole openings for different size seeds. I don't know if I'm showing it very well.
Hey, use the different camera, bud.
What's that?
Use your other camera.
Okay. See the different size openings?
There you go.
So it's really cool. So what I'm going to do is you can do it two ways. You can do it by like doing it like this, but sometimes you get too many seeds. So I'm going to try to look professional, which is probably one of the first times I've ever done. I got to put these on so I can see where the hell these seeds are falling. But anyway, you just kind of put the slot of seeds there, and then I'm going to kind of sow them. They just come right down the little rack there, and I'm going to put maybe two. They're pretty wide. I'm going to put two to one of my holes here. And I just do that to make sure they're going to germinate. Now I'm only going to do 9 of those. So then I'll put the rest, I'll take this off. I'll put the rest back in the thing. Now Tithonia are really nice. They're going to get probably about 3 feet tall. I had one last year. I planted it out in the garden. Sometimes the foliage on the bottom will get kind of brown. But,
Hey, bud.
Yep.
Vicky's got a question. She wants to know where you get that cedar.
It came, check out Jung's seed catalog. What happened was that I bought so many seeds, they gave it to me. And I've never really used it till I was sowing some stuff for Mr. Wiggles the other day. I got some sensitive plant. You know, I don't know if you guys know what those are. They'll grow and they kind of almost look like a locust leaf. And if you touch them, they just close up. So I thought that'd be really cool for him to have a plant like that and touch it and watch it close up. So anyway, and the seeds are real small, so I use this. Now I'm just going to push the soil. Lisa will show you that camera. Kind of just push the soil down around these. Normally, if it depends on what kind of seeds I'm going to sow, I would put some more soil, or I've got some, I'll show you here when I go to the next seed, some fine vermiculite. So anyway, that's the Tithonia, and I'll do one more. I'll do the This one is called Sunray Yellow. It's a sunflower.
Your other camera.
It's a sunflower. And it's a dwarf. It's made to grow in a pot. So, this isn't one that's going to be like 12 feet tall. So we're going to do those. And I'll just use this marker again. And what I'll do is I'll end up transplanting these. When they get so tall, they'll get probably about 6 inches tall, maybe a little shorter than that. And I'll transplant them to a gallon pot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 to a pot. I'm going to do 2 rows of these.
Hey, you've got Jan Miners and Marianne and Jeff Morgan's watching, bud.
Hey, Morg. How's it going? I hope it's warmer where you're at. It's colder than shit here. We've had a lot of cold weather, and it's going to be this next week still, too. These are pretty big. They're going to get caught. So I'm going to do it the Bud way. I just kind of tap like this on the thing. And you can see them starting to come down the little packet. And I'm going to put 2 in there. Two to a hole. This is probably boring to you guys. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. To me, it's nothing cooler than to be able to plant a seed, especially a vegetable seed, and let it grow and to be able to harvest it and eat it. I mean, it's just, what a cooler way. And Jeff Morgan, our friend that's on now, has Morgan Miller Plumbing. And he has done a lot of work. I'm not sure if it was over in, Lisa, was it in Africa?
Oh boy.
Getting water for these people to be able to garden and irrigate and even to have it into their homes, showing them how to do stuff. He's really a great guy. It's been a while since I've gotten to hang out with him. I think the last time I even hung out with him, we were at Facebook in Palo Alto, right near, Stanford University. And we went and did our thing that night, and him and I went down to the bar and sat and drank some and talked. So, great guy. So anyway, that's that one. And then I've got one more. Now this one's really cool. This one's Tiger Eye. It's a radiant bicolor sunflower. It's also short. It only gets about 24 inches high. Blooms are about 5 inches, and they're really, really nice. And you can use these sunflowers too for cut flowers if you'd like. And these seeds are all from Burpee.
You got Joel Weissman watching now, bud.
What's that?
Joel Weissman is watching.
Oh, hey, Joel. All right.
Oh,
now,
he's watching too.
These are like regular sunflowers. Look at them. They're just miniature seeds. These are the easy ones. I should have brought the nasturtiums because those are really big too, but I really don't want to start those yet because they grow so fast and they get so tall. And we grow nasturtiums and we classify them in herbs because the flower is edible on the nasturtium. And I think they're really cool. They're really pretty. Plant. I planted them on the corner of my raised beds last year and they did really well. They flowered all summer long. Really a carefree plant once it gets established. And it's just kind of mounded, kind of hung over the sides a little bit. It's really, really nice. Yeah, we got more snow last night. The snow cover is going to be a blessing for helping out with keeping everything from being dead for from this cold temperature. Now, some of the stuff you may have some dieback, like say your roses, you didn't trim them back and they're real tall and some of them are sticking out above this. You may have all that top part may be dead and then everything below the snow line will be green. I think the one year we had the real cold temperatures, the burning bushes were that way. The snow was maybe about 18 inches to 2 feet high around some of them. and the whole tops were dead. And I don't know why a burning bush was not hardy enough to take those temperatures, but they died back to the ground like that. I should say where the snow line was at. All right, we're going to sit this down. And I'm going to show you, this is another thing I'm going to use. This is a cell pack.
Stuart's with us.
Stuart, I really said something nice about you, Stuart, about the dibble you made for me that I've never been able to use because Lisa took it.
Well, speaking of that, he said, so how come you're not using the dibble I made you?
So, what we're going to do here, now this is the way, now when I worked for Lauren Swartley, he had some insert that would fit in here that were long rows, and you could sow your seeds in the row. And what I'm going to do here is this is a great pepper. Now this isn't on our list. This is some of Bud's Freaks. This thing will be anywhere from 12 to 14 inches long. I mean, it's really cool. It lives up to its names, Joe's Long Cayenne. They're really cool. And the one year I strung them and dried them. I think I still have them hanging downstairs. But what I do is I'll put this in there, and I think there's like, well, it says 50 seeds here. But since this is one of my freak shows, I'm not going to sow all 50 because I just won't, I don't have room for all of them. And what you can do, and I'm going to do it the slow way, I'll put them in here. See them?
Jeff Richards is watching too now, Bud.
Who is?
Jeff Richards.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jeff. So I'll dial that to probably about right there. And what I do is I'll just sew these in. And there's no rhyme or reason. They just kind of scatter in there. I'll do 2 of them. That way they're spread out a little bit more.
Why are you doing so many seeds?
What? I'm sowing seeds now.
2 different rooms. I'm just curious why you're dropping in so many seeds for that variety.
Because the germination may not be out, well, on the packs. Does it say? No, it doesn't say the germination. Sometimes it'll tell you the germination percentage. Like you may get an 85% germination rate on these. It just depends. Hot peppers are harder. They're just harder to grow. So I always sow extra ones, and that doesn't mean I use every one. Some of them may not grow right and stuff. So you always, if I just sow 10 because I only want 10, I may only get 5. So that's the reason why I sow extra. We're trying to go do all the hot peppers first. The hot peppers are the ones that are slower to germinate. So this is a great one. This is another good one. Ancho gigantica. This is great for you people that like stuffed like chorizo or cream cheese and bacon and stuff in a pepper. These are weenie peppers. They're not hot. They're not very hot at all. And it says right here, standard for sauces and stuffing is an excellent use as fresh in chili relleno. It's a great pepper.
Oh, Jennifer Bachner's with us.
Hi, Jennifer.
She said, this is awesome. Thanks for sharing.
So I'm going to sow these. I'll just sow a couple of these, and then we'll move on to something else. I'm just going to do it this way instead of dumping them in because this is just as easy. If I was putting individual seeds in, it'd be fine, but I'm just going to... I won't be sowing any tomatoes because it's way too early for the tomatoes. They would be so tall by the time I did it. I'll probably wait till the first week of March probably to do it, to sow those. And one of the reasons is the germination rate. I mean, I'm telling you, some of the stuff, for instance, these are marigolds.
Wrong one. There you go.
And it says on the back of these, it says the germination time is 7 to 14 days. So I sowed these. I'm not going to sow these tonight. I wanted to show you the seed, though. Let me show you the seed. We'll go down here to this camera where Lisa's got the other camera and show you the different shapes. Look at the shape of the seed. It's pretty cool. Lisa says they're like little paintbrushes, and they are. The kids usually, and this is one of the things that I'm missing. My first graders, we always sow these about this time of the year. I go to Mandy Dallas's class, and we sow these, and then the kids will transplant them. I'll come back right before Mother's Day. They'll have a little pot planted, and it'll be nice and flowering, and they'll give them a flower for the mom for Mother's Day, and I won't be able to do that this year. I mean, again, because of COVID. So we'll sow this one. This one's a really cool one. This is awesome. That's a cool one.
Did you catch that?
What?
Logan Wolf is watching.
Hey, Logan. Yeah, Logan Wolf. Geez, I remember when him and Quinn would go in the garden and help me pick stuff. There's only 10 seeds in. It doesn't say. Wait a minute. No, sprouts in 7 to 14 days, it says. This is one of my new peppers, Apocalypse Scorpion. So, it's supposed to be a hot mother. We're going to sow these over here in this pack. What I didn't bring tonight, and it's unfortunate, is I have a little clear top that goes over this flat, fits perfect. And the reason I like it is that it holds moisture in. I don't have to water as much. And it also keeps the temperature. Now, we put these, I guess I didn't get to finish with my marigolds. The marigolds germination was 7 to 14 days. They came up in 3 days. And the reason is I have that clear plastic thing over the top. Plus, it's on our heat cart, and the heat mat is at 90 degrees, so it keeps the soil really warm. And then I have, I didn't bring it with me for my 2-liter container. I had that water, and I have warm water, so I water these by hand. I'll make sure that water's warm. What I'll do is I usually sit it on the heat cart, and the heat cart keeps the water warm. So then when I have to water these, when they get too dry, I'm able to water them, and they grow.
Hey, Pat Krebs just gave you an angry face. I'm not really sure why.
Pat, why?
Brian Eade is with us now.
Hey, Brian. So anyway, that's the peppers, and that's how I do it now. What I usually do, this is, we can go to the other camera, Lisa, and I'll show them.
Okay, I'm already on that camera, dear.
Okay, sorry. This is vermiculite, and it's fine vermiculite. And what I usually do, Lisa can go to the other camera, and I'll show you what I do. I just take some of this, and I'll cover the seeds. Just sprinkle it over the seeds. And the fine vermiculite's great because it holds a lot of moisture. Seeds can push up through it pretty easy. Sometimes I just use regular soil like I'm planting in, but I decided I wanted to do it this way again this year. I did it that way last year. I had pretty good germination rate with these hot peppers. The heat cart, by all means, has helped with germinating. And you can set your own germination chamber up at home. I mean, get a fluorescent light. You can buy a small heater. Jung's has them that will fit a flat, that you can put a flat on and help germinate your seeds.
Well, tell them about light or lack thereof.
What? What about light?
What kind of light do you use for germinating?
Well, right now we have LED lights, but you can use fluorescent lights. A grow light and a regular fluorescent light would be fine. And you want to let your seeds, and what we'll do when this stuff germinates, I'll bring one of the packs back and show you, like when they're ready to transplant, or what the true leaves are, because I let them grow in here till they're probably about like this tall and they've got really nice true leaves, and then I transplant them. Well, I shouldn't say I do. I think last year Quinn did. Anyway, that's how I sow the pepper seeds and stuff like that. And stuff like that. Chocolate pot. Okay, wherever that came from.
Diane Rood is with us now.
Hey, Diane.
And Pamela Vinci Cape says, fancy.
She says, hey, what?
Fancy.
Oh.
I'm in another room.
Lisa and I are farther apart than last week, so that's why I can't hear a damn thing.
Yeah.
Brian says, good evening. I hope you're keeping warm.
All right. Just trying to get organized, guys. So take a drink. I will. So those are my peppers. I'm going to just move this off to the side. And I'm going to go to this tray. I showed it, I think, to you last week. And I'll just bring one of them over here. These are really cool. These are what our plugs come in. So we try to recycle them and reuse them instead of, we can put them in the recycle bin, but I chose to redo, use them here. What I'm gonna do, and this is really fine, so I'm gonna use this on it, but I'm gonna sow some thyme. And this is a great herb. And it says the same, it says seedlings emerge in 14 to 21 days. Well, let's hope it's better than that. And I'll show you this when Lisa gets, let me see if I got that in the right spot there. I'll show you the seeds in this.
Before.
What's that?
Your positioning was fine before.
Okay, sorry. Is that all right there?
Perfect.
Now look at those seeds. Look how fine they are. So we're going to use the real little hole in here to put them in. And I'll do multiple seeds in this one too. This is a real benefit of having this thing. I could barely see the seeds dropping. And what I'll do is when these all germinate, I can leave them in here a while and let them grow, just like our plugs that we're going to plant our hanging baskets in. You can let this grow in here and root in real good, and then I'll transplant these into a 2.5-inch pot, or I don't know if we do 4-inch or not on these. I'm not sure. Have to look online.
I think it's the 2s.
But there we go. There we go. And then I'll put the rest of the seeds. I'll open it up to a real big one. I'll put the or I'll even just take it off. And put the rest of the seeds back in here. There we go. So, and like I said, sometimes I don't use all the seeds. So, and then on this one, we'll do the same. Cover these real lightly with vermiculite. I don't think I put oh yeah, here's my tag. And I always put the date on it too, like I said before. Put the tag in there. And I'll take these up to the germination chamber tomorrow morning. We got to make a delivery tomorrow to a friend. She's had a tough year. Her her mom died and her grandma passed away, and she's having a hard time, and I saw that she was, and I asked her if she's going to be home tomorrow, and she said, yeah. So you can see in the bag back here that Lisa's, it's in the pictures. I made cookies, and I got a little plant for her. Hopefully make a smile on her face.
Jeff Morgan says, you are really good at this.
Oh, Jeff.
What, Jeff, this part? Some of you might have met Jeff too. He's been to Garden Stock a few times.
Yep.
All the way up from Kansas. Yeah, the Chiefs laid an egg, Jeff. What the hell? Let Brady win another Super Bowl like he needs another ring. I see J.J. Watt got let go today, and I hope, since he's a Wisconsin football alumni, a lot of word on the street is he wants to come back to Wisconsin and play the next few years as a Packer, and I'm hoping that's true because he's still got some steam in him. Could be our Reggie White. I think Reggie just played for a few years and went down in history. But anyway, that's about it for sowing the seeds. I have other stuff. Basil's a little early to start, get a little tall. Now what I'll do with the basil, and it's just regular basil, I'll sow that right in the 2-inch pots because we don't even transplant that. And that grows really well. The thyme I just like to do in this because it grows so, it's smaller and it isn't as sturdy. And the basils are really nice. And we had it, I planted like 2 or 3 bushes out here and they were huge. And Jana next door that helps us out and stuff like that, she came over and got basil, and we use fresh basil in some of the recipes and stuff that we've been doing and things like that. So is there any more questions, Lisa, or anything?
Oh, I've got some comments.
Okay.
I think it was when you were talking about making your cookies.
Oh, okay.
Delivery.
Pamela Vinci Capes gave you 3 hearts. And Linda Sue Brown said, sweet, very patient bud. Angie Rosengren, such a warm-hearted act of kindness.
And the other thing, the neighbors, Quinn's got a plow. And the neighbor next door to us is in a wheelchair. He's a Packer fan, which is a good thing. But he's in a wheelchair, and his wife works a lot. And I go over there, and Lisa and I bought a snowblower, so I get to play a little bit longer because I go over and do theirs. And he yelled out the door the other day when Quinn was plowing it. I had Quinn plow, what I owe you? And I said, nothing. And to me, it's what neighbors are supposed to do for neighbors. So anyway, she brought me a card tonight and was a really nice note in it and that. And I put it back in her car with the money and wrote a note back to her and told her thank you for the kind words and that, but that's what neighbors are supposed to do. And I don't feel right taking money for doing something that, I would hope somebody would do for me if I was in the same situation. So remember that, you guys. When I'm old and decrepit and I need the weeds pulled, I need you guys to come over.
Aaron Peterson's watching.
Aaron, hey, buddy, how's it going? Not on second shift or what? Aaron's down at, I worked with him.
Christian is watching.
Who?
Heather Christian.
Oh, I say this with loveliness. Lisa said Heather's watching, and I give everybody nicknames, and her nickname, and she wears this badge of honor, and her husband always said, why do you let him call you that? And she says, because he doesn't mean it, but I always called her bitch. And she always said she was the number one, and boy, did she prove that right. Now, Tiffany came in a close second, but, Heather's still number one, but she's a nice lady. I worked with Aaron and Heather both at National. Aaron's down at Disney World now. He works down there, so it's kind of interesting. I think that's pretty cool, I think. I got a friend that works at Disney World and that, but he was working second shift. He used to be on here a lot more. Almost all our sipping trips in the summertime were on there, and he got moved, he said. And I talked to him the other day on Facebook and asked him, I go, is everything cool? I was hoping everything was all right because we hadn't seen him on. And he said he got moved to another shift, so it's hard for him to do this. So stuff, you have to do what you got to do.
Could you hear me?
No.
Yeah, he said, I think he's on vacation now.
Oh, awesome. Vacation. You're in Florida. You're always on vacation. What the hell?
Pamela says, you are a kind soul. Not pulling weeds for you, but we will bake you cookies.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Heather says, I love you, bud.
Yeah, I love you too, Heather. I watching you with your grandkids, and you love them as much as I love Mr. Wiggles. I went over today to drop Quinn's check off to him, and he was hiding, and then he jumped out at me. Thought he scared me, but he didn't. But anyway, I told him when it gets warmer, he goes, I can come over and we ride the golf cart? I go, yeah, we'll ride the golf cart. So he's all anticipating riding that golf cart.
Hey, did I say that he was working third shift? Aaron.
Oh, he is. I
Yeah.
thought he said he was working second. Wow. Uh-oh. The cat just humped up, and I don't know why, so I don't know if there's another cat out here or what.
I don't know what you two were talking about because I was clicking away, but he says, amen, more beer time. So
Yeah, there you go. I worked third shift at National, and I liked, Heather did too. That's where we worked. And Aaron, I don't know, I can't remember if he worked, we worked a lot of second shift together and that over at the Sterling plant, but I don't think I worked third shift with him at Rock Falls when I was there. So anyway.
Roberta Dean watching.
Who is? Roberta?
Roberta Dean and Tim Lawson.
Oh, hey, Tim.
They say hello.
Hi. Hi, Tim. Hi, Roberta. I just absolutely, I tell you, that baby of Sam's and Stephanie's is, he looks so much like, when he smiles, it's Stephanie to a T. I cannot believe how much that kid looks like his mom. Of course, I think I made the comment the other day, he had his belly sticking out or something. And I said, well, it looks like he's got daddy's beer belly. Sam liked my comment. So, is there any other questions or anything?
No.
Well, that's probably about all I had for Sowing Seeds. Now, next week, on Friday, hopefully it's going to work. If it we're going to be on whether it works or not, whether I'm just showing you an album and talking about it or showing you a CD and talking about it. We're not sure. We haven't had time to test. We've been doing some other things in the greenhouse this week, trying to get ready for the big, it'll be kind of a rush for the next couple weeks, and then it's like a lull because we're waiting for everything to grow and stuff. And then it's a little too cold for the guys to get going and stuff like that. So there's a little lull here that we'll have about the end of February, with what we're doing in the greenhouse and things like that. Lisa and I will probably be doing some things at home that we have to do on the computer, which I absolutely hate. That's why I'm going to drink again. Oh, God. But anyway, that's our life. I love it. I love my job. I've always loved my job, no matter what kind of shit that it throws at me. I like it. I love the people I work with. I love my wife working with me and my son. I just can't wait till Jameson's old enough to bring him in and along like I did Quinn. I just feel real excited about that part of my life, and I hope that Jameson will be interested. If he isn't, I'm not going to force him. I didn't force Quinn. It just was a thing where, how kids are. They want those video games, and the new, it wouldn't be Atari because that's our generation, but the new PlayStation or some new electronic toy. And I always told Quinn, I go, well, we got a landscape job. If you want to work, that's no problem. So,
All right, you got a comment and then a question.
okay.
Jeff Morgan says, love you both. Take care. Stay positive. Test negative.
Yeah, exactly. We're hoping, we're waiting. We're on a waiting list. Of course, we're way early because I'm only 61, so we're way early. But we wanted to get on a list, and even when it comes to our group to get vaccinated, they're going to take somebody. Knock on wood that my health has been really good, and Lisa's has been too. So in our bracket, they will take people that have had health issues, which they should. I'm not complaining at all. I just hoping that they ramp up with getting the vaccines out to more people that really need it, and all our essential healthcare workers and firemen and policemen and the people that really should be, because they have to be out there doing their job. So, what's the question?
Pamela Vinci Capes asks, when can we plant winter lettuce in the ground?
Winter lettuce.
Winter lettuce in the ground.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what winter lettuce is. If it's
Well,
there's winter onions like that you plant in the fall, and I shouldn't say they're not called winter onions. There's an onion that you plant in the fall that you harvest in the spring, real early, and I can't remember what those are called. But I don't know. Lettuce is a very cool season crop. I mean, you could start that in your house and grow it real easy. And they grow them in a regular flat, just sowed, in there, and they'll harvest it off there. Lettuce and peas. Peas can be sown as soon as the ground can be worked. I mean, it says that right on the package. Lettuce, I would wait a little bit on it, but I always plant it real early in April, probably the second or third week of April, to get it to grow. And the same thing with spinach, radishes, carrots. All those are cool season crops, and they grow really well in the cool season, and that way you can harvest them for a long time. But winter lettuce, I'm not sure, if that's something that you sow in the fall to harvest in, I don't know how you could harvest it with this much snow in the ground, but or if it's just something that you can sow real early spring, and they call it winter lettuce. So I'm not sure. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. I'll have to Google that. That's something new. See, I don't know everything. I'm not a know-it-all.
she says, okay, thanks.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Brian says, you are an amazing man. And Vicki Horton said she got her first shot on Wednesday.
Oh, great, Vicki. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope that it went well for you. I've been hearing from a lot of my friends that are in the healthcare area or work with some mentally handicapped people and stuff that are getting shots. The second one is the one where they get some symptoms. It doesn't last long, but they do get more symptoms with the second shot, and that just means it's working. That's when you get the chills or a headache or you have the fatigue or a temperature, that just means that it's working. So, and they tell you not to take any like ibuprofen or anything like that. Let it run its course so it builds up your immune system. So.
Hey, Pamela says that it might have been somebody pulling my leg that said I could plant it by the 17th of March. That sounds like just like the first, like.
Well, it just depends on the weather, Pamela. I mean, this year, I think you're going to be, it just depends if it warms up. If the ground is even workable. But the germination, I'm not sure how cool the lettuce could be. I don't know if the winter lettuce is a loose head type. If that's the type, you definitely can sow it in March, so you can take it outside the first part of April and that. And it's always good when you sow these seeds and transplant them and you're getting them ready, before you put them outside, take them out like a week before you're going to plant them in your garden, because it's called harden them off. If you take the stuff straight out of a warm environment and put it outside and it's more of a harsh environment, you're going to shock the hell out of it, and you may even kill it. So put it up by the house where it stays a little bit warmer and it's not the wind may not get it or whatever, and leave it sit out there to get, they call it hardening them off to the outside instead of taking them directly out there. And I do that with our tomatoes and stuff. The stuff I grew for Dave and stuff I put in my garden, I put outside the fourth greenhouse for a couple of days, 3 or 4 days before I started transplanting it into my garden and before I gave it to Dave to put in his garden.
Got a couple more comments.
Awesome.
Linda Sue Brown says, "Thanks, Bud and Lisa, for a very good show. To look forward to how to sow for springs, sunflowers, herbs, and peppers." And then Brian says, "You should have Dr. Coons on again for an update for everybody. Would absolutely love that."
We are going to have Dr. Coons on.
Yep, he's coming back.
He already said that he would be glad to do it. Now, one of the things that I got him to coax him to come back on is that we got to talk about cars. So it's going to be, we'll have him do a little bit of an update, and I may switch things around here because I've had a couple people say that they couldn't do it or that, so I may put him up earlier so he can talk a little bit about what's going on with the vaccine and stuff like that. We want to do it outside, and I'm sure he wants to do it outside too. So he's real diligent about wearing a mask and being outside and a distance. We don't want to do anything inside. And today I got another call, and I told the girl that I felt really bad. It was a call for the CEO class out of Dixon. They had 7 kids, and they wanted us to talk to them about our business, have them come out or me come there inside. And I just told her that I don't feel comfortable enough doing that yet till we're vaccinated. I just don't want to be inside for an extended period of time talking, even with a mask on, because I just don't want me to get sick or to get anybody at our shop sick, and that would really hurt our business. So I just have to be diligent about it right now. But I told her, I said, I've been waiting for years to do this, so please ask me when this stuff is over. And we told Cindy too, from Community State Bank, who's on the one in town here, that we want to do it. I just love working with the kids, but I just have to wait. We just have to wait.
Pam says, "Thanks for the lettuce tips."
Thank you, Pam. Lettuce is great. Lisa and I had, what did we do with it? Did we just eat a salad with it, Lisa, this year? Or did we do something else with it?
What are you talking about?
Our lettuce in the garden this year. This is the first year that we were able to do that.
We just ate it.
Okay, I didn't know if we did something else with it or not, like rolled it up and made lettuce tacos or,
Nope.
You could always say, let us entertain you. And if Matt Fichter watching?
No.
Zeppelin rules, Sabbath drools, dude.
Oh, no, he's not watching.
You can still fight it. You heard my response today that the Zeppelin will rise.
Gee. Are you done?
Yes.
All right, sign off, dude.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks. Stay warm. It's going to be cold this week, so make sure you stay warm and stay safe. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting us and everything that we do.
Yep, we love you. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Oh, look at not much left.